The winner is John Wayne in True Blood.
On May 26, 1907, Marion Robert Morrison was born in Winterset, Iowa. House stands today. 2 years later, his parents changed his middle name to Michael after his younger brother was born. That was his first identity change, but there will be more. In 1916, his pharmacist father moved the family west for health reasons. They arrived in Glendale, California, believing the dry climate would assist. That move altered everything. The future cinematic legend acquired his first moniker in Glendale. Not from a film or play, from a dog. Duke was his Airedale Terrier. They were always together. The fire station residents called the youngster Big Duke and the dog Little Duke. The name stayed. Duke was who he was before John Wayne spoke. He grew swiftly. He was the football team captain in high school at 6 feet, 4 inches, and 225 pounds. In 1925, his stature and power earned him a football scholarship to USC. Football seemed to be his future, not cinema. In 1926, everything changed again. He was slammed by a huge wave while body surfing at the beach. The blow to his shoulder was severe. He tried playing through the pain, but failed. He was released by USC. That ended his scholarship. Thus ended his college education. He took odd jobs in Hollywood without money or a plan. His former football coach had film business friends. One is silent film star Tom Mix. Helped him move props for John Ford. It wasn't fancy. His job as a furniture mover led him on set, where he observed filmmaking. Ford looked at the tall, quiet kid curiously. He started giving him small bits to test him. Between 1926 and 1929, Wayne performed in sports films like Brown of Harvard, The Dropkick, and Salute. Marion Morrison was still a football-built background player with a square jaw, but something about him stood out. Ford admired his unique movements and speech. Then, 1930. Raoul Walsh, directing The Big Trail, an expensive Western, observed the young prop lad going across the lot and thought he looked like a leading man, but Marion Morrison didn't sound like one. Walsh intended to name him Anthony Wayne after a Revolutionary War general. The studio boss declined. Too Italian-sounding. So they chose John Wayne. Such a famous name was born. Not even Wayne was in the room when they chose it. He was paid $75 a week to lead The Big Trail. It cost almost $2 million to film in a new 70mm format. Crazy Great Depression money. However, most cinemas couldn't show it. The film failed, moved from major break to bottom in months. After that, studios rejected him. The Deceiver, 1931, required him to play a corpse. He could only get that role. Nearly 80 low-budget westerns were made from 1930 to 1939. 4 to 7 days later, they were shot. The initial compensation was $1,750 each film, which was horrible. Later, he made $6,000 per film, still below A-list. But he persisted. He researched everything. Legendary stuntman Yakima Knut taught him. They created new battle scenarios with broad strikes and smart camera angles. Wayne imitated Harry Carey's languid pace and quiet speech. Those lost flicks shaped his style, look, and confidence. Hollywood westerns were practically extinct in late 1938. Big studios wanted flashier storylines. Cowboy films were avoided by serious directors. But John Ford didn't care. He saw. The film Stagecoach started it. He told the studios he wanted John Wayne, a mostly unknown actor, to play the lead. The studios refused, wanting Gary Cooper. Cooper was famous. He guaranteed ticket sales. They offered to sponsor the film if Ford made just one alteration. Ford flatly refused. He quit deals, dropped producers. Even David O. Selznick left when Ford wouldn't budge. Finally, Walter Wenger arrived. he backed the picture. Just $250,000, less than half the budget. Even Wenger wanted Cooper. He wanted Marlene Dietrich as the female protagonist. No one trusted Wayne. Nobody except Ford. He did not yield. Just one choice impacted film history. Strangest part? Wayne had no interest in the role. Ford requested Wayne for casting options for Stagecoach, and Wayne suggested his pal Lloyd Nolan. He assumed Nolan would improve. He felt unprepared. Wayne spent 10 years in cheap westerns. His first big film, The Big Trail, failed. He'd been pulling stunts, riding horses, and wearing dusty costumes since, but always in the background. So Ford asked, "Duke, can't you play it?" More than a joke. Wayne feared failure. He almost gave up his lifelong role. If Ford hadn't pushed, Nolan might have represented westerns. Then March 3rd, 1939. A Stagecoach hit the screen. Everything changed. Monument Valley is crossed by a coach at 30 minutes. One cyclist stops the coach. Shots zoom in quickly. Wayne suddenly appears, whirling a gun with one hand and staring at the lens. One moment started a legend. Wayne's outfits were expertly colored by Ford to look good in black and white. The lighting, timing, and framing were great. It lasted 15 seconds, but was plenty. Audiences knew instantly, not just another cowboy. It was Star. Even Wayne knew. He paid tribute decades later in Big Jake by pulling back the camera instead of zooming in. A homage to the life-changing moment. Wayne was a star by 1941, yet he didn't fight in World War II. His lifelong regret was that decision. He had a damaged shoulder, back issues, and an ear infection at 34. Everything originated from his stunt career. He probably would have been rated 4F, unfit for service, in a military assessment. Still, rumors spread. He was suspected of draft evasion. Ford, now an OSS agent, brought Wayne in 1944. He dispatched him to the Pacific on a USO tour with a covert objective. Wayne monitored military morale and intelligence. He drank with soldiers, shared anxieties, and made notes. One night, a bombing raid targeted his sleeping area. The OSS gave him a plaque upon return. Wayne termed it a copperhead, a meaningless metal item. Soldiers remembered him. He recounted them at home. He mentioned the heat, explosives, and desire for love letters. Perhaps he didn't fight, but he gave the conflict a credible face. Wayne portrayed that visage on screen from 1942 to 1945. He made several patriotic films. The 1942 film Flying Tigers depicted a pilot defending China. It made $1.5 million, a tremendous Republic Pictures hit. In 1944, The Fighting Seabees debuted. He played a builder fighter. Wayne appeared more assured in larger action situations. Republic's biggest hit was the film. He reunited with Ford for They Were Expendable in December 1945. It covered Navy PT boats after Pearl Harbor. The tone was darker now. The heroes lost. The line was held and lost. Behind the scenes, things weren't so good. True battle veteran John Ford. He was on Omaha Beach on D-Day. His footage of the Battle of Midway included aerial gunfire. His Navy suit was second nature on set. However, John Wayne stayed in Hollywood, a deferment. War wasn't his life, but he made movies about it. Ford despised him for that. On the first day of filming in the Florida Keys, anxiety was thick. 6 real Navy PT boats added authenticity, made everything scream war. Everything but Wayne. The credits proudly listed other performers' genuine military ranks, but Ford kept Wayne blank. His name, no title or honor. The message rang clear. The salute followed. The date was May 12, 1945, 4 days after VE Day. One scene required Wayne to salute an admiral. Simple? For Ford? No. He made Wayne repeat. Then again. Once again. After 14 takes. Ford exploded in front of 50th Duke. Can't you at least salute like you've served? Room went quiet. Ford didn't call him by character, calling him Duke. This wasn't acting. This was personal. Wayne flushed. Everyone saw. Everybody felt it. Then something happened. No one predicted. Wayne stood frozen, not yelling back. He didn't argue. He pulled off his hat, put it down, and left set. Past crew, extras, gone. He only accomplished that once in his 170-film career. He packed at his motel after driving. He finished. MGM lost $20,000 that day. The next morning, Wayne returned. No one spoke. Not him. Not Ford. Only silence. The crack between them never closed throughout filming. One person stood up that night. Montgomery was more than a performer. He led PT-107 in action. He went straight to Ford's office and gave him it. "Don't ever say it to anyone again," he said. "Of all people, you should know the difference between man and uniform." Ford remained silent. He realized he'd overstepped. After then, he never referenced Wayne's war record. He never warmed up either. The rest of the shoot was formal and frigid. Wayne now faced bullets, not wartime kind. Wayne continued to fight after the cameras stopped. In his personal life, conflict was raging. His 1933 marriage to Josephine Science began. They had 4 kids. However, she discovered his connection with Marlene Dietrich in 1940. It was clear Wayne and Dietrich had chemistry. On screen and off, Josephine was heartbroken. She even visited a clergyman to save the marriage. It failed. The couple divorced December 26, 1945. Wayne married again 3 weeks later. Although he was married to Josephine, he met Esperanza Chata Bauer in Mexico City in 1941. The connection was quick and messy. The couple married on January 17, 1946. Fast wedding. Impulsive choice. Ward Bond was his best man, and Chata brought her mother to live with them. Wayne never heard them speak English. That produced ongoing anxiety, but it was just the start. Wayne subsequently stated the marriage was like shaking 2 volatile substances in a jar. His love to his kids bothered Chata. She wanted to act again. Wayne didn't favor her. Her drinking began. Strange things happened at home. Wayne sometimes slept on the couch, while Chata and her mother occupied the bedroom. He stayed 7 years. He didn't want to fail again, not because it succeeded. Night of the Gun followed. After filming Angel and the Bad Man, Wayne didn't invite Chata to the wrap party. She phoned the restaurant. Everyone left. Her jealousy grew over time. Drunk and outraged, she imagined Wayne was with another woman. To enter his residence, he broke a window. Chata heard the ruckus, got a rifle, and approached. She raised the weapon as she noticed a figure on the couch. "Don't shoot! That's your husband!" her mother yelled. Wayne passed out, claiming to have been at co-star Gail Russell's residence. He didn't convince Chata. She charged him with intoxication, cheating, and assault in court. She stated he beat her. She said he purchased Gail Russell a car. Wayne responded by accusing Chata of inviting other men around while he was away. The studios wanted the scandal forgotten. Both parties divorced. Chata received $500,000, $50,000 annually for 10 years. Wayne kept but wanted to sell the house. He wanted that nightmare gone. At 40, Chata died of a heart attack in 1961. Wayne never mentioned her again. John Wayne was always the all-American hero, but 1948 changed that. Fort Apache was his collaboration with John Ford. Not just another cowboy film. Native Americans weren't villains this time. They were real people with goals, pain, and pride. Captain Kirby York, represented by Wayne, was a stable leader. However, Henry Fonda's Colonel Thursday was conceited and illogical. Their fight was more than personal. It involved power, pride, and ignorance's cost. big battle scene was shot in Monument Valley with actual Navajo extras. It looked huge, yet felt raw and heartbreaking. She wore a yellow ribbon a year later. Wayne played Captain Nathan Brittles, an elderly soldier on his last mission. Every shot of the Technicolor film felt like a fading West painting. Rio Grande followed in 1950. Wayne's character returned, caught between duty and love, seeking reconciliation with his ex-wife while fighting Apaches. Cavalry trilogy films impacted Westerns forever. They went beyond good and evil. They were about people, choices, and how war transforms everyone. Today, Rotten Tomatoes rates Fort Apache 100%. It was that far ahead. Another film upended everything in the midst. River Red, same year, 1948. Other director, Howard Hawks. This time, Wayne wasn't heroic. Tom Dunson was a harsh, obsessed cattle rancher who eventually lost his mind. His battles went beyond land and cattle, featuring Montgomery Clift as his adopted son. Relationship felt like Greek tragedy. Love, treachery, vengeance. Wayne looked tired and aged. His shoulders slumped and hair grayed. It went beyond acting. Transformation occurred. Hawks couldn't believe his eyes. He remarked, "I never thought the big son of a bitch could act." Movie cost $2.7 million and lasted 133 minutes. Every second counted. It was violent, deep, and unforgettable. Sands of Iwo Jima followed in 1949. Wayne didn't wear a cowboy hat this time. Marine Sergeant Stryker, scarred, strict, and tough, not just physically. He had a failing marriage, a distant kid, and too many battle ghosts. The film included real soldiers. 3 of the 6 Iwo Jima flag raisers were in it. The real flag was utilized. The role earned Wayne his first Oscar nomination. Though he lost to Broderick Crawford, the nomination mattered. This showed the world that John Wayne could do more than ride horses and shoot bad dudes. He later admitted he liked his portrayal in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon better. Sands of Iwo Jima earned almost $4 million in the U.S. and led to other combat roles. Wayne's life changed off-screen. Pilar Palette was his 1954 bride, Peruvian actress and flight attendant. In his turbulent existence, she offered color and tranquility. They had Isa in 1956, Ethan in 1962, and Marisa in 1966. Not everything went well. Before marrying, she had an abortion. He left her out of his $6.85 million estate years later. Prenuptial agreement. She stayed with him, traveled with him, and supported him through his health issues. Their relationship was filled with love, grief, and commitment. Wayne excelled during their marriage. The 1956 film The Searchers altered everything for him. Wayne didn't portray a hero in Searchers. He played Confederate soldier Ethan Edwards, intent with finding his niece in captivity. His true goal was darker. He wanted more than her rescue. He planned to kill her if Comanches polluted her. His rage was terrifying. Silence conveyed more than words. Ford returned to Monument Valley for filming. Wayne appeared little and angry despite the vast landscapes. The final image of him alone in a doorway, while the family moved on, told it all. A relic. Today, AFI ranks it 12th among the greatest American films. It remains Wayne's most complex part. John Wayne worked for 15 years to animate The Alamo. He saw the movie as a mission. He starred, directed, produced, and paid for most of it after studios dropped out. Wayne persisted as the budget grew from $3 million to $12 million. He played Davy Crockett for funding. They created a 400-acre Texas set. It was his ideal project, but it broke him financially and emotionally. Mixed reviews. The box office lost money. However, it received 7 Oscar nominations. Daughter of Wayne expressed it best. The Alamo became his war. He re-teamed with John Ford in 1962 for Liberty Valance's Killer. The low-budget, black-and-white film destroyed Wayne's heroic image of decades. His character dies alone and forgotten. No glory, no last stand. It was quiet, mournful, and unlike the mythology. Critics deemed the picture a masterpiece after it doubled its budget. That one line, "When a legend becomes true, print it, not just talk," one sentence summarized Wayne's career. Next, Maureen O'Hara. Though they created 5 films, The Quiet Man stood out. Pure emotion, no weapons or horses. Wayne played a returning Irish boxer. O'Hara manipulated fire. On-screen and off-screen chemistry was real. Like a man, Wayne said she was the only lady who was truly his friend. Their relationship was evident in every scene. Audiences sensed it. It wasn't acting, it was personal. By 1963, Wayne was 56. Most actors fade then. He didn't. He adjusted. He was older, funnier, and calmer in McClintock. People appreciated his self-mockery. The movie grossed $14.5 million, or over $130 million today. He was successful because he could change without losing himself. He rejected Dirty Harry because he was too old. He was right. That job required Clint Eastwood. The 1969 film True Grit followed. Wayne was 62. He played Rooster Cogburn, a drunken, one-eyed marshal who didn't seem heroic. Still was. Messy, noisy, and fantastic. Wayne won the Best Actor Oscar after 40 years in Hollywood. He stood on stage and remarked, "Wow, if I'd known that, I'd have worn that patch 35 years earlier." Over $31 million was made. It showed his persistence. Not yet, but 1964 changed everything. Doctors identified a lung tumor, smoked 5 to 7 packs of unfiltered Camels daily. His left lung and 4 ribs were removed. He nearly died. Most would have quit, but not Wayne. He switched to cigars and resumed work. Just months later, he filmed in Mexico. He rode horses, shot action scenes, and fought fires in Hellfighters. Grit helped him fight cancer, according to his daughter. Grit never left him. He admitted his ailment. Wayne stood tall and discussed cancer when others whispered. He filmed ads, spoke, and advised screening. After stomach cancer returned, he made one last wish to his kids. "Use my name to fight cancer, if nothing else." So began the John Wayne Cancer Foundation. Since then, it's trained hundreds of doctors, taught thousands of youngsters prevention, and invested millions in research. Legacy of his fight. Wayne made his final film, The Shootist, in 1976. He played a dying cancerous gunfighter. Though fictional, it felt real. Though not terminal, he was battling. He had trouble breathing on set due to the altitude. The sickness hit him. Production stopped, carried on. He finished filming. One of his best, say, critics. Roger Ebert said that his eyes showed terror, which John Wayne had never shown. The finale was wonderful. His last public appearance was the 1979 Oscars. He appeared weak. He put a wetsuit under his tux to cover his weight loss from cancer. When he left, the crowd stood. He smiled and added, "That's one of the few medicines a man needs." Wayne informed Cary Grant that Christopher Reeve was acting as his successor that night. 11 days later, he was hospitalized again. He died 2 months later, on June 11, 1979. His children accompanied him. John Wayne kept going, even after death. On May 26, 1979, he earned the Congressional Gold Medal weeks before his death, a significant deal. It showed the country recognized him as a cultural influence, not merely an actor. On June 9, 1980, Jimmy Carter awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest civilian award in the U.S. By then, Wayne had been in 179 films and TV shows, from silent 1920s classics to new wave smashes. One of the country's top box office stars for 30 years. His 1969 Oscar for True Grit as Rooster Cogburn made Hollywood history. He wasn't merely a movie star.